About today, the video, how to do your first century. Let's slow down for the wind noise. How to do your first century. What is a century? A century in Australia is 100k, or a century in the USA is 100 miles. So how do you do that? Well, it's going to be pretty simple. All you need to do is train up for it. I'd recommend doing a long ride. Start if you've got 1 day a week where you can just go for a ride, let's start with 10 miles. Right? Now, I guess just use the units whatever country you're in. If you're in Australia, you use Ks, and if you're in USA, England, use miles. And so this is very simple. To do your first centuries, I've done double centuries, triple centuries, 24-hour races, the works. And this is all starting from ground zero. This advice will get you there. 10 miles. Go do your 10k on a Sunday, and then the next Sunday do a 20, and then the next Sunday do a 30, and then the next Sunday do a 40, and a 50, and a 60, and a 70, and 80, and 90, and 100. That's how you do it. It's that easy. It's that simple. 10 weeks a century. You could even double it. Depends what your fitness level is now. If you can do a 50-mile ride, you can do 100. All right. So you might be like 10 miles is the biggest thing you've ever done in your life. You've never done more than 10 miles on a ride before. All right. And that used to be me back in the day. That's everyone at some point. And so if you've never been able to do that, then start with 10, all right? But if you can do 50 miles hilly, then you can do 100 miles. No worries, all right? It just comes down to pacing yourself. I do recommend power meters. Like, if you're a pro, you don't really need a power meter because you're a pro and you really know how to, you know how to pace pretty much. But if you're an amateur rider or a beginner, a power meter is going to be more helpful for you. Like, a power meter will help someone like, a total noob more than someone like Chris Froome, all right? Chris Froome knows what 400 watts feels like. They've been trained. They know exactly what it feels like. They use power meters more for the coaching and stuff, just for feedback and how the body's responding to certain training and stuff. So, but a noob, like a noob doesn't know what 100 watts feels like. I know what 100 watts feels like. Chris Froome does. A noob doesn't. The average rider probably wouldn't. So a power meter is going to help you a lot. So if you're averaging 100 watts or keeping it under 200 watts, then your century ride is going to be a lot more manageable and you're going to be able to do it a lot easier. So many people smash out the watts. I see these century fun rides, these grand fondos, and people are like, they're just cooking it, man. They're cooking it, this roll. They're just going way too fast with the power wise, and they should just chill. They should just chill on the watts. So get a power meter. You definitely need a power meter. And if you go to a bike shop and they're like, oh, you don't need a power meter, blah, 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 blah. It's like, then they just, that doesn't mean they're bad people, but they're just inexperienced, all right? They don't really know. I used to work in the bike industry and I still do. Jack, actually, I'm in the bike industry for 17 years now this year. 17 years working in the bike industry. I have my own bike brand now, coaching, etc. Started off working in a bike shop, a great bike shop here in Adelaide, and learned a lot. It was fantastic. But yeah, power meters, a game changer. Carbohydrates. Have at least 100 grams of sugar per hour. So if that century is going to take you 10 hours, you need a kilo of sugar with you. I just use refined sugar. Put it in the water bottle. Things like that. Bicycle. You need a good bike, like tires pumped up. A bike that fits you, that has gears appropriate for where you're riding. If you're riding in Florida, whatever gears will be fine. If you're going to be riding in Colorado, you're going to do a century in the Alps in Colorado and France or whatever, or if you're going to do a century in Adelaide or hit all the big steep climbs, then you're going to need proper climbing gears so you can spin at least 90 to 80 to 100 on the climbs. If you can't, you need to change that up. Now, like all my girlfriends, they can do like a 100-mile ride in the first month of being with me. Literally, I could take a beginner rider and by end of the month they could do a 100-mile ride effortlessly. With power, with water, with sugars, and a proper bike fit and gearing. Simple as that. Anyone can do it. A century mile is not hard, man. It's not hard. People make it hard. Their bike seat's too low, or maybe too high. They don't use clip-in pedals, or their clip-in pedals are like the wrong size. They're too small, so they've got a lot of pain. They've got the wrong saddle on their bikes, so there's a lot of pain there. Their bike setups, the stem's too short or too long. They don't eat enough carbohydrates, so they wait until they're hungry to eat carbohydrates. So the glycogen stores are really low, and they're like, oh, no. And then they drink heaps of coffee and painkillers, and then their gut's all acidic, and they're, or they don't drink water. They wait till they're thirsty. Oh, I'm thirsty now. I need some water. It's like too late. You're cramping up, and just, oh man, people make things so hard in life, don't they? You know what I mean? People make things so hard in life. What's the smoke going on there? Roll out. You know, like, why do we make things so hard in life, us humans? We love the complicated stuff, don't we? We love the complicated stuff. I sell people really simple bikes, Pragma bikes, super simple, super high performance, super good value, super high quality. And some people are just like, oh, it's too good, it's too simple, man. I've got to have a complicated. It's got to be complex and complicated. And but yeah, that's the reality. My advice just works, and there's not many people in the world. There's not many people in the world who could take anybody who is physically able to and do a 100-mile ride with them within 4 weeks. Right? You could like that person across the street here. Don't know who that is. If let's say he's got zero cycling experience, I could get him doing a 100-mile ride in the hills in a month with me pacing. That's the reality. This advice just works. So if it's taking you longer than a month to do a 100-mile ride, that's okay. That's fine. I'm just saying it's possible. The better situation is just add 10 miles a week, and that's a slow, steady approach. And then you do that 100 mile, and you're like, this is not too hard at all. And then you can start maybe aiming at having a higher average power output, but you don't have to. Maybe you can do a 150 mile, or a double century, or a triple century. That's what I'd recommend. Because getting more power and stuff like that, yeah, that's cool. But I reckon it's good to focus on distance, because when you focus on distance, you also learn more about cycling and nutrition and things like that. So that's my tip there. So focus on that 100 miler, get that done, then do the 1.5er, then do the double, and then do the triple, and then do the quad, and then do the multi-day, and then do the the bike tour across the USA or Australia or whatever. And I've done all those things, and it's fantastic. That's one of my tips. That's my recommendation. If you want more information, grab a copy of my ebook, Enduring Rider. Go to enduringrider.com. Check it out. And I've got an ebook there called Enduring Rider's Lean Body Bible, and it's full of cycling tips. They're going to get you lean and get fit. And that's a good thing. Cycling is like, it's not just about losing weight and transport. It's a lifestyle. It's meditation. It's social. It's community. It's emotional. It helps you build emotional muscle. You deal with challenges and you overcome them. And learning how to fix a flat tire. Tire's too tight, won't come off, and you're like dealing with that. So it helps you manage things in life. All right? It helps you manage things in life. That's why when people ask me a simple question, I'm like, I could talk for hours on it, because it's metaphors for life. All right? Yeah. Cycling's incredible, and I've known so many people who have become really fast cyclists and totally quit and burn out because they weren't really cyclists. They'd jump in a car and go to the shops. They wouldn't ride there because I was embarrassed and wearing a helmet at the supermarket. I wouldn't do that. And just their standards are like unrealistic and pretentious, and then they just burn out. So my tip is cycling lifestyle, down to earth, keeping it real. Who cares what the haters say, whatever. That's just my reality there. And that's why my girlfriends, man, they just, Natasha today, she's like, I come home, I'm like, what are you doing? She's on a bike, pumping tyres up. I'm like, where are you going? She's like, I'm going up Woodlands Way. Woodlands Way. I'm like, cool. Woodlands Way is like one of the steepest hills in the world, right? And she's just going up and down, doing the repeat, just cruising along. You have to listen to music and audio stuff. Just riding easily up Woodlands Way, just for the heck of it, just cause. You know what I mean? Like one of the hardest climbs in the world, suburban climbs. And she's doing that, just did 2 repeats just for fun, just for the heck of it, with a low heart rate. I know guys who don't even do Woodlands Way because they're like, oh no man, it's too hardcore. These guys race A grade, and they don't even do it on Strava because they're like, oh, it's too steep. And my girlfriends, all of them, just effortlessly, I'm going to Woodlands Way. Just doing a bit of work, let's do Woodlands Way. You know what I mean? It's like, what? It's insane. It's of course cool, but that's the qualification of my advice, all right? So yeah, simple as that. Results. Century, man. Go do that century. And just make sure you pay attention. Always have your eyes up the road. Be wearing some bright clothing. Pack some lights, because maybe you're out at night time, or you get a flat, or you get lost, and now you're out with no lights. Pack lights. Pack 2 sets of lights. Always have a backup rear light in case it goes wrong or whatever. All right. Pack lights. Saddlebags are really good to have. Always pack more food than you need on a century. There's nothing worse than going hypoglycemic and bonking and running out of muscle glycogen and trying to get this done. Oh, this just sucks. And you never want to do it again. You want to get to the 100-mile rides. I can let you do 100-mile rides and go, did I do 100 miles? Maybe my neck's a bit stiff. But otherwise I feel totally lucid and fine because I'm hydrated and I'm not running on stims. Don't use stims, man. Don't use stims. Use stims for, trying to get an extra 5 watts out of your power on a time trial. 5 watts. If you're chasing 5 watts, use stims. Otherwise, using stims makes things too easy, because then you just like off your chop and you don't really enjoy it as much. You don't really remember things as clearly when you're high as a kite on stims like caffeine or Ritalin. You don't remember things as good. When you're sober, you remember things deeper. So I do recommend that. Do it sober. And but yeah, that's my tips there. And how to do a century effortlessly. Effortlessly. That's my reality. I can do a century any day of the year. Just like, it's like washing a big pile of dishes. It's like, yeah, just do it. Okay, no worries. You know? And I love cycling. Don't get me wrong. But just eliminate time and distance remaining. Keep the power, chill, and spin your legs. Keep it around 80 to 90 cadence, maybe to 100 certain times. Get out the saddle, get that blood flowing. Take your shoes off here and there, and just pay attention on the road and be safe and be seen. Check out my new laser thing with laser helmets. Be seen. Right? They're using that logo now. So laser also make a great helmet that doesn't fade. Anyway, that's another topic for another video. See you on the road.